Welcome, everyone, to the Shrimply Good Podcast, Episode 2, the podcast for all things Pistol Shrimp Baseball. This Episode 2 is brought to you by James Hardy. I'm Lucas Burris, joining me in the podcast realm and in the broadcast booth all season long is Jayce Eustice. Hello, Jayce. How are you today, this week, this wonderful past opening week of Pistol Shrimp Baseball?
I'm doing all right. Obviously it wasn't the ideal start the Pistol Shrimp wanted to the season, but there's a long way to go, and there's definitely a lot more teams they're going to be able to get a look at, and like we've mentioned many times, a lot more players that are still to come to the team as well. So
Yeah, we're now 4 games into the season as you all listen to this podcast on Monday morning, hopefully, or anytime on Monday. But welcome into the Simply Good podcast. But 4 games in and not where we'd like to be, but not the worst possible scenario. We're not 0-4. We are 1-3 now on the season. Started off the season with a victory, but after 3 straight losses, we sit with some solemn, sad faces. But the point to be had of you, Jayce, of we're just beginning, and there's a lot of players still left to come to town as the NCAA season begins to wrap up. We're going to have a lot more players join the Pistol Shrimp ranks, but that means other teams are going to have a lot more players join the ranks as well. But it's an exciting time to be a Pistol Shrimp baseball fan for sure. As we did it, we made it. We had opening week.
yeah,
So
definitely it was a day later than originally thought. Obviously with the rain out there on Friday, getting the double header on Saturday, but a lot of fans came out. A lot of people came out to enjoy one game or both games, and it was a fun night there. Obviously not able to pull out with a victory in either game, but I think pretty much everybody that came out had fun, and I think that's the goal for this team, and obviously to continue to grow and get better throughout the season.
no, absolutely. It's definitely was an exciting home opener. We're gonna get that in a little bit. Let's start though the podcast with some game recaps of what happened over the past week. This is how we'll do most of the podcasts on the Simply Good podcast throughout the season. We'll start our podcast with game recaps, get to some individual content, and then at the end of the podcast, we'll preview what's to come next week for the Pistol Shrimp. So let's start how we're going to start all season long with some game recaps. I'll start with game one, which took place on Thursday, the opening day for the Prospect League. We saw the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp travel to Normal to face off against the Normal Corn Belters, and it was about as good of an opening day as you could have as the Shrimp picked up the opening game victory over the Normal Corn Belters 6-0. They recorded 10 hits, had 1 errors, and held Normal scoreless, only giving up 2 hits. And it was the man on the mound who did a lot for the Pistol Shrimp. Ryan Ehrman went 7 innings, gave up 1 hit, no run, no earned, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. He took a no-hitter into that 7th inning. He was absolutely dominant in the opening season performance.
Yeah, it's no surprise. He was definitely rolling. Even the first hit he gave up was sort of a dribbler that was, just kind of put in a perfect position for the Corn Belters to kind of get that first hit of the game and get rolling. And sometimes when you see these long sort of no-hitter streaks, things can unravel fast once that first hit comes. But Ehrman did a good job of closing down the inning, finishing strong. And then Laxner came in with 2 innings there at the end, shut the gate there for the Pistol Shrimp in order to close out that 6-0 victory. Like you said, the bats were rolling pretty nice, getting 10 hits and 6 runs, and the pitching was as like exactly like you mentioned, about as good as you could possibly hope for, especially on opening night when you don't really know what to expect. It was a great night there for the Pistol Shrimp, and to take down you don't really want to say a rival, but a team that's located fairly close to where the Pistol Shrimp are.
I would say, in my opinion, maybe our biggest rival in Normal. I think we can start that rivalry if we want to, Jayce. I think we have the authority to do so. I can feel it. We play Normal 3 games next week too, so we might as well cut some blood somewhere and twist a knife so we can get into some fun rivalry games. I mean, why not? We're all for family fun, but I mean, come on, let's have a little rivalry fun as well. But the big thing from the Normal game, I think, to talk about is, of course, Ehrman, but also the batter's box. These hitters did well, giving up or getting 6 runs scored. Chance Resetich had a big game, going 1 for 4 with the 3 RBIs. He was the RBI leader for the team. Juan Familia 2 for 4 with an RBI as well. Those were the two big hitters, and we were looking forward to that team to continue to roll coming into opening night, which is supposed to be a day later on Friday, but the rain washed us away and we headed to Saturday for a doubleheader after the 6-0 victory over Normal. And we expected a lot from these Pistol Shrimp, but Saturday was not the way we wanted it to go.
Yeah, definitely. In that first game on Saturday, really the story for the Pistol Shrimp is they fell behind early, and as they started to kind of climb back into the game, the pitching was kind of unable to hold down the Aviators. The offense did a good job of putting up some runs, keeping them in the game. I believe at one point it was 6-9 as they started to kind of climb back in. But you got to give a lot of credit to that Aviators offense. They have a very talented lineup, and they continue to keep their foot on the gas and to continue to score runs, score hits, put together good at bats, and just kind of wear down that Pistol Shrimp pitching. But overall, it was a good effort, especially in game one for the Pistol Shrimp. A lot to take from it. Obviously, there were some big hits on the Pistol Shrimp side. We had a couple of home runs, one by Castillo and one by Rios. Rios really got a hold of one there. I believe that was in the third inning, and just kind of sparked that offense for him. So there are some things to take from it. Obviously, it's an L in the win-loss column, but definitely, nothing you want to just kind of look past.
Yeah, absolutely. At one point in that game, it was 7-0 after the top of the third inning. And that's when the Pistol Shrimp offense began to come alive again. They scored 3 of their own runs in that bottom of the third inning in game one to make the score 7-3. So they're on the comeback trail there. But those Aviator bats, they just never slowed down all day. They were led by their number 3 hitter in Tyler Kelly, who was a foot away from a cycle in game one. Maybe I think we can thank Justin Rios for not having to give up, not having an opposing player hit a cycle on us in our first home game ever. I think all applause to Justin Rios for, one, getting the scoring going with the solo shot, and then 2, throwing out Tyler Kelly at second base in the final innings there to stop him with that double. So applause to Justin Rios on that one. But Pistol Shrimp didn't come out with the victory, of course, and Tyler Kelly ended up going 5 for 5 with 4 runs scored and 5 RBIs. That's a stat line he could ride home about, and I'm sure he's excited after his opening week action. But in game one, of course, the Pistol Shrimp just couldn't pull out with the victory and ended up losing to the Aviators 11-6. That dropped them to 1-1 on the season, and there was more high hopes for game two. And the Aviators decide they were just going to fly away with that one as well.
Yeah, the Pistol Shrimp did a good job in game two. Actually, after the first inning, they were leading 3-2, got that first kind of lead before the pitching then came in the second and gave up 4 runs in the second inning there for the Aviators. So again, it was just that onslaught of pitching by the Aviators, and they did a good job of wearing down the pitching there for the Pistol Shrimp. Kelly continued his hot streak. I believe he came in with, he had 2 more hits in the second game, which definitely is not a bad game. But in order for them to hold him just to that was a mission accomplished for the Pistol Shrimp after the first game. But right behind them, there was Trevor Johnson, who ended up with 3 doubles in the second game as well. So they were just a team that was hot. They were seeing the ball well. They were hitting the ball, and everything off their bat continued to just carry throughout the ballpark there on Saturday. But the Pistol Shrimp really did a good thing. They got some young arms out there, able to get some innings. I know the Peru native Jake Dahl went out there for 2 innings as well and had a pretty good showing. Obviously, not some of the results he wanted to see, but definitely things that the team itself, pitching and hitting, can just kind of take and tweak some things and move forward and start to win some of these ball games.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good showing for the home crowd, I think, in that home opener. But I think the funniest part about the game is that Tyler Kelly was the beer batter of both games, and we didn't strike him out until his second at bat of game two. He ended up striking out twice. Yeah, he struck out once in game two. So we ended up getting 1 beer batter celebration. So that was exciting. But I remember when that number 3 was pulled at the start of game one, I was like, that's the worst number to pick, probably, if you're going to pick a beer batter of the game. So the fans were treated to at least 1 strikeout of Tyler Kelly. But when a player goes 7 for 10 in 2 games as the beer batter of the game, that's an upset to the home crowd who was there in bunches. But the story of the game was definitely these Aviator hitters led by Kelly himself, as they have now scored, or they did score, more than 10 runs in all three of their games this season. They defeated the Paints in their opening game by they had 10 runs in that one, and they scored 11 and then 14 on us. So I think this is one thing that the Shrimp just kind of hit an opening season buzzsaw in the Aviators, and it didn't go well. But you lose both those games, then you're on the road, and it's a tough thing to follow as well after losing both those games to the home crowd. And today's afternoon game didn't go well for the Shrimp either, as they ended up losing in 7 innings via 10-run rule to Rex Baseball 17-1. So the Shrimp fell to 1-3 after the 4-game opening weekend series.
Yeah, today just wasn't a day there for the Pistol Shrimp. Obviously, there wasn't an inning where they were able to keep Rex from scoring. Obviously, got out of hand pretty fast. We're able to get one on the board there, but obviously, when you're only putting up 3 hits on the day and getting 10-run ruled, obviously to kind of save some of your arms, especially in this season, in the young season where you're still waiting for a lot of your pitchers, a lot of your players to come in. And today just wasn't a day. Really, you kind of it's one of those forget about it days. It was a game that got out of hand fast, and nothing to really kind of hang your hat on. Obviously, like we've talked about multiple times so far, it's very very early in this season. We play 60 games this year, and this will be one that the Pistol Shrimp will just kind of look to forget moving forward.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think it's time to just brush off this week. Think about that normal game. Think about what Ehrman was able to do in that opening start, and get on that, and get on how the bats were able to perform in the first 3 games of the season. You score 5, 6 runs. That's usually going to be good enough for you. So a good outing there. But this Sunday afternoon game at Rex, you just kind of got to let go and forget about it. And I don't think there's much that we want to talk about for the Sunday afternoon game as well. But the Shrimp have a lot to look forward to this week as well. They'll go back and they'll play, I believe, 6 games this coming week, Tuesday through Sunday. Actually, 7, because they have a doubleheader on Sunday as well. So we'll get to that preview in a little bit. But that's what happened opening week for the Pistol Shrimp. They finish it 1-3 after getting the opening series win over Normal 6-0. They dropped 3 straight and will head into next week on the 3-game losing streak, looking to bounce back. And we'll get to who they have to face in a little bit. But I think the biggest thing that we need to talk about in this one, Jayce, is the home opener, and how, we felt finally doing it, how it felt to have fans in the stands, how it felt to finally do a prospect league game, not only in Peru, but at Veterans Park.
Yeah, I think for most people involved with the Pistol Shrimp, it was sort of a big sigh of relief. Obviously there's a lot of work that went into it, a lot of stuff behind the scenes to get the field ready, to get the press box ready, to get social media ready, and everything in between. And I know I can speak for myself, but a lot of the people that we work with as well have been working hard day in and day out, just trying to make sure everything was as great as we could possibly have it. Especially dealing with the rain out didn't make things easier. But I know personally, I felt great to just kind of get in the booth, kind of get that first game, and then obviously the second game right after, kind of under our belts. Now being able to kind of take a step back, maybe adjust, some things to work on, some for us, for our public address announcer, for everyone involved, just kind of having that self reflection period where there's definitely things we can all improve on, and we will continue to be a work in progress as this team is as well. But I don't know about you, but personally, that's kind of how I felt, coming into today and after Saturday night's games.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt the same way. I thought we had a good, first time out. I thought it was great. The voices that you hear all season long are, of course, me and Jayce in the broadcast booth. But the man behind the PA is Andrew. That's who you hear booming through the ballpark, and everything is a learning curve so far. We're all getting our feet wet still, but I thought it went pretty great. For the first time, anything of that capacity has been done at Veterans Park, and I think it went pretty well. I've heard from a lot of fans who really enjoyed their time there. A lot of kids really enjoyed that atmosphere. South Claw Sam was all over the ballpark, and I hope the fans at home got to meet him and got to see him and everything that was going on there. But I think it went well, and I think a big shout out to our general manager, June Keeley, for everything that she did to put that together. It was a spectacular show that took place throughout the ballpark. And of course, Abby Wood as well, who was able to put that together. With June, it was a big showing, and I think the fans really enjoyed it. Estimated crowd on Saturday, 1,500. I think that is just a spectacular showing in general. All the people who came out to celebrate the opening of Pistol Shrimp Baseball in Peru, Illinois. And I hope that people continue to come out, continue to enjoy the ballpark. It's only going to get better. If you think that the best show you're going to see all year is opening week, I got a sorry story to tell you. It's only going to get better from here, and it's going to be a great atmosphere at Veterans Park all season long. So, Pistol Shrimp fans, for sure, don't give up on us. I don't believe you will, but continue to come out to the ballpark. There are 30 games at Veterans Park this season, and we've only done 2 so far.
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot that went into it, and like you said, big shout out to those guys that are working behind the scenes. Maybe people you don't see every day, but I think overall it went really well. A lot of people that I heard from in the community as well really enjoyed their time. And like you said, this is not a finished product, and we're going to continue to try to make everything about the ballpark and about our broadcast as well, just as good as we possibly can. And the team's going to continue to get better day by day. So like I said, continue. You said don't give up on the pistol shrimp, as I'm sure that a lot of these people won't, and things are going to continue to get better as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people are very excited. And if you're listening to this podcast right now, I hope you're excited to all the content that we're bringing out for you as well. Like we're just continuing to feed the beast that is the baseball fans in the Illinois Valley. It's an exciting time to be around, and there's so much that's going to continue to happen that it's just wild beyond our dreams that we put all this effort into just that one opening night. But now that it's happened, the ball's rolling. We're ready to go, and it's going to be a fun and exciting time at Veterans Park all season long. So, speaking of that, let's talk about what's coming up this week at Veterans Park and at the Pistol Shrimp for the Pistol Shrimp on their schedule. This coming week, they'll start off on Tuesday on the road. They'll go up against the Danville Dans in Danville. Danville 3-0 on the season. That's a 6:30 p.m. start time. That's Tuesday, June 1st. Every Monday all season long, the Pistol Shrimp are off. So that's why you get the podcast on Monday, but that's what's happening on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough matchup. Like we said, the Dansville Dans coming in at 3-0. I believe today they actually took down the Lafayette Aviators, something that the Pistol Shrimp were unable to do in their 2 cracks that they had at them on Saturday. So it's going to be a tough matchup, like you said, being there at Danville. And then obviously coming in then on Wednesday, June 2nd, they'll be playing Danville again. That'll be here in Peru at Veterans Memorial Park. That'll be 7:05 p.m. first pitch. So they'll have kind of 2 looks at Danville. Hopefully, if they're not able to get that victory in game 1, maybe being able to adjust and come at them a different way and at least escape with one of those wins there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, a 2-game series against Danville to open up the week, one away, one at home. So the first Pistol Shrimp game you can see at Veterans Park this week, Wednesday, 7:05. Then we're going to do it again on Thursday, this time against Normal. We'll call it the rivalry game, even though we're in different divisions as well. So Normal is not even in the same conference, let alone division as us, but we'll call it kind of the crosstown series. How about that? Give it a little emphasis of a Cubs White Sox rivalry. Maybe we'll see. I think a lot of it has to do that. I think we pull the same players pretty often as well. We're recruiting the same areas of the Illinois players. So why not give it a little rivalry game? But that's how we'll open up the week. One away at Danville, one at home versus Danville. Then on Thursday, June 3rd, we're going to be at home again versus Normal at 7:05. So Wednesday and Thursday, 7:05, Veterans Park to get your Pistol Shrimp taste on the weekdays this week.
Yeah, and then after that, on Friday, they will again play the Normal Corn Pelters, this time back in Normal where they're able to get a victory. Obviously, on opening night, that'll be at 6:35 p.m. So they'll continue this sort of, like you said, rivalry, the kind of I-39 game here. Just kind of they're going to become real familiar with each other real early here as they'll continue to have a bunch of games against each other at the beginning of the season and become familiar with each other. After that, then on Saturday, they will return back to Peru in Veterans Memorial Park against the Normal Corn Belters. That would be 7:05, and that is also a special night. because that'll be the 96.5 The Wolf Country Night in
Yeah,
Peru.
absolutely. I think I like what you said there, Jason. I don't want to lose it. The I-39 rivalry. I think that's pretty good. I think we might have to market that. Well,
A little bit of marketing
I
there.
think we'll have to talk to Normal. We'll have to maybe we'll send them the podcast, have them listen. Let them know what's going on. But I think that's I can see it in big bold letters already. The I-39 rivalry. We'll have to write that down. But like you
Sometimes
said,
things come to you.
yeah, it does. It sounds really good. But like you said, on Saturday, it's a big one. Saturday, we have another big event for you, and that's the 96.5 The Wolf Country Night. It's all going to be country around the ballpark on Saturday. So if you can't come to the weekday games, make sure you're marking down your schedule for Saturday, 7:05 p.m., 96.5 The Wolf Country Night. It's going to be all country all throughout the ballpark. Come with your country boots, come with those hats on, come ready to listen to some good music. You're only going to hear country. That's the night that's going to be. So I hope you're ready for it. 96.5 The Wolf has a lot in store for you. So I'm excited for that one. Make sure you come to the ballpark. 7:05. Get there early too. Our doors are open. Our parking spots are open earlier on. You don't got to show up right at 7. Get to the ballpark, enjoy the atmosphere early on as well. But we'll recap the night or recap the week on the road for a doubleheader at Rex of 4:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. So actually 3:30 and 6 p.m. For the 2-game doubleheader on Sunday. That is also a big night for us as well for different purposes, as we'll be at Riverfront Bar and Grill on Sunday night. We'll be there at 3:30 p.m. and you can come watch Pistol Shrimp Baseball live at Riverfront Bar and Grill live, meaning we're going to have Prospect League TV on at the bar. It's going to be the first ever Pistol Shrimp Baseball watch party. We're going to do that. It's going to be very exciting. You can meet us. We're going to be there, and you can meet players and staff as well. So get excited for the first ever Pistol Shrimp Baseball watch party on Sunday, 3:30 p.m. at Riverfront Bar and Grill. So a big weekend plans. We're marking your calendar. I hope you don't have any plans for next weekend, because on Saturday night, you're going to go to the ballpark and you're going to see 96.5 The Wolf Country Night on Saturday versus Normal. And then on Sunday, you're going to catch some Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp versus Rex Baseball at Riverfront Bar and Grill. I'll be there, and I hope all the fans at home will be there as well.
Yeah, definitely an exciting week of baseball coming up there for the Pistol Shrimp, playing Danville twice, getting real familiar with the Corn Belters, playing 3 more games against them. Obviously, 96.5 The Wolf Country Night is going to be an exciting night for everybody involved. We invite you guys all to come out and just have some fun. And then closing the week there with that doubleheader against Rex, be a couple big games there. And like you said, the watch party. I hope everybody comes out and enjoy some good food, enjoy some good baseball, and it'll be an exciting event for everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So to close out, Jayce, we got to do it. It's the Shrimply Good podcast sponsored by James Hardy. So it's time to name our first Shrimply Good player of the week. Jayce, who in your mind is your Shrimply Good player of the week?
For me, I'm going to go with the player that I tried to talk to there at the end of that second doubleheader, and I'm going to go with Damon Castillo. He did a good job there at the middle of the Pistol Shrimp lineup for the first 4 games. A couple of home runs, was getting on base, was continuing to kind of keep things rolling. And as you're looking at a 4-hitter, you want someone who has some pop, someone who's not afraid to go the opposite way. And I think we saw that, in a lot of his at-bats. He was working tough counts. That's kind of where my mind is going, with a close second also being of Rios, who kind of sparked that offense. I know you being from North Central, kind of Rios kind of holds a special place in your heart there. But for this first opening week, I'm going to go with Castillo with Rios right there on his tail.
Yeah, those are the 2 hitters I was thinking as well. Rios as Castillo. So you're going to give your Shrimply Good player of the week to Castillo. I got to go Ehrman. I cannot let our man who took a no-hitter into the 7th not have enough love this week. He's going to be my Shrimply Good player of the week. So Castillo and Ehrman, congratulations. You were just Shrimply too good this week. You're our Shrimply too good players of the week. We'll name one of those every week. Get the fans involved as well. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. Name your players of the week with hashtag Shrimply Too Good. Our Twitter is at P Shrimp Baseball to let us know. But with that being said, it's time to close out episode 2 of the Shrimply Good podcast. This one, again, sponsored by James Hardy. I hope to see everyone at the ballpark next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, all 7:05 start times. And remember, if you can't make it to the game, every Pistol Shrimp baseball game is live on Prospect League TV with myself and Jayce at every home game. It's the only way to watch outside of the ballpark. Just go to prospectleague.tv. But for Lucas Burris and Jayce Eustice, thanks for dropping by the Shrimply Good podcast this week. And remember, fear the claw, and it's Shrimply too good to miss. We'll see you next time.